So welcome everyone. I'm here today to speak to you about ranked choice voting and share information on the upcoming primary election in June. And before we get started, again, we would like to get to know you all. So if you haven't already done so, please share your name, your pronouns, and your word in the chat. And I can start. My name is Ama Acquah. My pronouns are she, her, and I am in Harlem, Manhattan. And I'll pass it on to my colleague, Gori, to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us on such a beautiful day. My name is Gori Patel. I use she and her pronouns. I am in Brooklyn, and I'll add that my favorite spring activity is to go for walks. So thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Gori. And my favorite spring activity is just to be outdoors, doing anything and everything. So if you haven't gotten a chance and you want to, please share that. And next, the chat will be enabled for today's conversation. So make sure you share it with everyone. There's also a Q&A box that will be open for your comments. Gori is here to assist with that. And so she's supporting me in that aspect. Today's program is also recorded, but you will not be recorded. And your questions will not be recorded, just me as host. Live captioning is also available for this program. To turn on the captions in English, use the button at the bottom of your screen. And last but not the least, a PDF copy of the slide deck will be available. It will be put in the chat so you can follow along. We'll also share the deck afterwards with the recording. So if you can't follow everything, it's okay. You should get it later. You can just be available and present to listen, watch, be present. And we're going to get started. Thank you for being here. So who we are the Campaign Finance Board. We are nonpartisan and independent city agency. So nonpartisan meaning that we are not aligned with any political party or candidates, and independent means we do not report to the mayor's office. That is because our main goal is to monitor spending in elections. We have a team of auditors that look at how candidates are getting money and where they are spending it. We also have a small dollar matching fund program that works to support local candidates running for office and to level the playing field against big special interest groups that back candidates. Sorry about that. And today I am here on behalf of NYC Votes, and that's our initiative that aims to increase education around civic engagement here in New York City, and also empower communities that have been left out of the local elections processes and sharing that information. So today we're here to talk about ranked choice voting, which I'll also call RCV. And the agenda for today is what is RCV? RCV in New York City, how does RCV benefit voters, steps for marking ballots and the counting process, the frequently asked questions that we've gotten in the past, and we'll have a practice, and then I will be able to share some resources with you at the end. And again, if you have questions, put in the Q&A and go on and get started. So what is RCV? So this year, New Yorkers will vote in a primary election for city council, and we use a process called ranked choice voting. This is a way for voters to elect their representatives. You can rank up to 5 candidates in order of preference instead of choosing for just one. Votes are calculated in rounds, and this gives voters more say in who wins, incentivizes candidates to spend less time attacking each other, and can also lead to more diverse candidates winning. We'll go over this later in the deck, but it also means that there's less negative campaigning by candidates. So who else uses RCV? There are a lot of states and municipalities across the US, and that list continues to grow according to Fair Vote. As of December 2022, 64 jurisdictions in the US have a version of RCV in place, reaching approximately 13 million voters. This includes 2 states, 2 counties, and over 60 cities, including New York City. And military and overseas voters cast RCV ballots in federal runoff elections in 6 states. So these 51 jurisdictions use RCV in their most recent elections, and there's still more that is coming in the next elections, and probably that list will continue to grow. Also, the Academy Awards, they implemented a reform to elect their board of directors using ranked choice voting instead of a runoff. So in 2021, they released the largest set of diverse candidates, with 9 actors of color being nominated for Best Actress, and also 2 men of Asian heritage for Best Actor. Internationally, Australia, Ireland, Malta, New Zealand, Canada, and parts of the United Kingdom use ranked choice voting for both single and multi-winner districts. So next we pivot to RCV in New York City. So how did RCV get here? In November 2019, 73.5% of voters voted yes on ballot question 1 to establish RCV in some local election. It was put on the ballot by the 2019 Charter Revision Commission. So it's important to know that this reform was approved by voters. And this is the 2nd year that it's being used in New York City. It was used in 2021 in primary and several special elections. This was taken from our voter analysis report for 2021-2022 about how many voters use RCV. So it was 88.3. And so that's a lot of voters who used it in 2021. And broken down by political party is 89.3% of voters who are registered as Democrats and 56.6% of voters who are registered as Republicans. So next, I'm going to share the short video, and I'll give an overview of the basis of RCV. It's about 2 minutes. And then I'm going to point out some of these things that I brought up in later slides to emphasize the most important points. So
there's a new way for New Yorkers to have their say in city elections. A way that gives voters more choices and can lead to more diverse winners. It's called ranked choice voting. 74% of New York voters chose to use it in primary and special elections for city offices: mayor, public advocate, comptroller, borough president, and city council. You won't see ranked choice voting in general elections or elections for state or national offices. But in ranked choice voting elections, you can now rank up to 5 of your favorite candidates for each office. Here's how ranked choice voting works. On your ballot, you'll see candidates listed in rows and numbered rankings in columns. Pick your first choice and completely fill in the oval next to their name under the first column. Like always, you can just vote for your one favorite candidate and submit your ballot. But you might like several people. If you have a second choice, fill in the oval next to their name under the second column. Do the same thing for your third, fourth, and fifth choices if you have them. A few don'ts. Don't rank the same candidate more than once. It won't help them, and it takes away your chance to rank the others who are running. Don't give the same rank to multiple candidates. It could disqualify your ballot. Don't worry. This is a new process, and you can always ask a poll worker for help, or for a new ballot if you make a mistake. So, how do ballots get counted with ranked choice voting? If one candidate gets more than 50% of everyone's first choice votes, they win the election right away. That's it. If no candidate gets more than 50%, ballots will be counted in rounds. Round by round, the candidate with the fewest votes is eliminated. So, if your top-rated candidate is eliminated, your vote goes to your next highest choice. This keeps going until only 2 candidates remain. The person with the most votes wins. Ranked choice voting is already popular in many cities around the country because voters find that it helps more voices be heard. Now it's our turn. Get answers to your questions and learn more at nyccfb.info/RCV.
Okay, and also just to point out that this video coming on June 17th, it will be available on all 13 city languages on our website. And yeah, so be sure to check it out. And let's get to RCV New York City. So it is only used in special and primary elections, right, for the offices of mayor, public advocate, controller, borough president, and city council. And these are known as the city offices. It will not be used for any federal or state elections, and it will also not be used for any judicial elections. And this last part is important to know because some ballots will have ranked choice voting and also single choice elections on both sides. So be sure to flip your ballot afterwards. So how do we vote before RCV? In typical elections, voters chose only one candidate for each office, and the candidate with the highest number of votes won. However, the winner doesn't always receive a majority of the votes. And so that was what was done. And again, this year, RCV will only be used for city council races. So how does RCV benefit voters? And this is based on those advocating for RCV. These are some of the reasons that they provided. There's a lot, but we focus on these three. Voters get more say in who gets elected. Candidates are more likely to appeal to voters and not each other. And voters elect more diverse and representative candidates. So for the first one, voters get more say in who gets elected. Even if your top choice doesn't win, you still help choose who does. So you can choose your favorite candidate first, second favorite second, and so forth. Also, ranking candidates does not harm your first choice, and your second choice counts if your first choice is eliminated. Your third choice counts if your first and second choice is eliminated, and so forth. So yeah, you can still play a role in that process. And also you can vote for your top choice first without worrying about who is likely to vote. You don't have to worry about voting strategically versus like who your favorite candidate is versus like who you think is more electable. And so you get more of a choice in that way. The next reason is that candidates are more likely to appeal to voters and not attack each other. So candidates who are not your top choice, first choice, still need your votes for your second, third, fourth, or fifth choices. So they appeal to a broader range of voters. Voters are hearing from all sorts of candidates and not those they think only need their votes. And candidates can't win with only the support of their base because they need to appeal to a greater pool of voters. Also, there's more respect between candidates and less negativity, because negative campaigning can have chilling effects on voter turnout. And so with RCV in the cities that it's been implemented, they've seen like a reduction in negative campaigning. And in some instances, like-minded candidates for the same office have endorsed each other. So for example, they'll say, vote for me as your first choice, but you could also vote for candidate X as your second or third choice too. And in the third choice is voters elect more diverse and representative candidates. So they reflect the communities they're based in. For example, in the San Francisco Bay Area, for cities that adopted RCV, there was an increase in the percentage of candidates of color running for office, increase in the probability of women candidates, and women candidates of color winning offices, and candidates of color won 62% of RCV races compared to 38% before the change. And so the elected officials are more representative of the communities they serve. In Minneapolis, the elected is first, 2 transgender council members. 7 cities that use RCV have equal gender representation in their city legislature, and in the 13 largest municipalities that use RCV, 6 have women mayors and 4 had Black, Latina, and Asian mayors. And in New York City, voters elected the most diverse city council ever in 2021, also using RCV. So next, we're going to go and focus on the steps for marking an RCV ballot and also the counting process. And so here, I am going to use my laser pointer here to illustrate that. So on the left, you see the candidates, and we have 6 candidates: purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, and pink. And then on the horizontal part on the top here, you see the first choice, second choice, third, fourth, and fifth, right? And so I go ahead to pick my first choice, which is green. Blue is my second, purple is my third, yellow is my fourth, and orange is my fifth. Now, as you can see, there were 6 candidates, right? But I ended up ranking up to 5. So you can rank up to 5. So I didn't give any votes to pink. But as you can see in the message at the bottom here, I filled it out correctly because it said you did it right. Your ballot is filled correctly. You can now go collect your sticker. I voted. So we are now moving to 2 potential ballot errors that we want to highlight to our voters. One is overvoting. So that means giving multiple candidates the same rank. So for here, for first choice, instead of choosing 1 candidate, I chose 2, which is blue and green. So it is not clear what candidates this vote is intended for, and this invalidates my error. And so the error message here is you can only rank 1 candidate per column. If you rank 2 candidates as your first choice, your ballot would not be valid. So it's not clear who's number 1. So this is an error to avoid. And the next error is duplicate ranking. So this means that do not rank more than 1 candidate once, right? And so here, I really, really like purple, and so I ranked them as my first, second, third, and fourth, and fifth choice, right? It was like purple all the time, but my vote for purple only goes for first choice, and there is no strategic benefit to doing this. And so it's just only the highest rank will go. So this just means like I may as well voted for purple just once, and that was it, right? So there's no point in doing this. And so the error comes here. You can only give 1 ranking to each candidate. Only your highest ranking for this candidate will count. And next is a sample ballot for City Council District 11 for their special election in 2021. So on the top here, just like the ones I showed previously, all the candidates' names are at the bottom here on the left side with their names, and also their parties listed underneath. There are 6 candidates, and as you can see at the bottom here, there's also a write-in candidate, which you could do. So you can write that candidate here and then rank their votes. And on the top here, you see first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Again, can wrap up to 5. So even though there are 6 candidates and 1 write-in, you can only fill up to 5 here. And so you can go here and bubble the candidates next to the candidate's name here. So this is an example of what a ballot will look like. Now we're going to get to the counting process. So these are illustrations on their website. Is very interactive, and we'll share the link with you at the end, and you can have a go at it. And so we're going to do a mock election, and our candidates to the left are again purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, and pink. And yeah, let the voting begin. So let's go to round one. Okay, so all the votes are in. We see that purple has 25 votes, blue has 15, green has 10, yellow has 5, orange has 30, and pink has 15. So orange is ahead with 30 votes, yellow is at the bottom with 5 votes, right? None got a clear majority here. And so we need to keep counting. But in order to move on to, we have to look at the candidate with the least amount of votes, which is yellow with 5, because in the next round, they are going to get eliminated. And then we move to the next round for the votes. So in the next round, purple gained extra votes. So they are now at 25 votes. Blue has 16. Green did not get any extra votes in this next round. So they are still at 10. And orange gained extra votes. They are 32. Pink also no any extra votes, no extra votes in the next round. So they stayed at 15. So now, which candidate has the lowest amount of votes? Green, right? And so in the next round, green is what? Going to get what? Eliminated. So green votes of 10 votes is gone. And now in the next round, now purple has 32 votes, blue has 17 votes, orange has 35, and pink has 16, gained some extra votes. But orange is still leading with 35, and now pink has 16 votes, which is the lowest, right? And so the next round, pink is what? Going to get eliminated. And so now we have 8, purple with 46, orange with 37, purple has gone up a bit, and now blue has 17 votes here. And so guess what will happen in the next round, right? Blue is going to be eliminated because he has the lowest votes of 17. And so I think in this case, we're getting to the final round because we are almost getting close to the majority. So yeah, final round. Blue is eliminated, and now purple has 52 votes, orange has 48 votes, and so purple is now the winner. They had a majority of the votes, they are declared the winner. And yeah, that's how the process is. It's not always this easy, but it's a way to illustrate that for you. And so this is how the counting process can work. And again, we'll share our website so you can go there and have a practice of that. And we actually have one coming later in this presentation. So before we move on, we're going to check for understanding. So on everyone's screen, please check. I am going to release a poll, which I want you to see if it's on your screen. There's 3 questions. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to release it. It should pop up on your screen. Okay, so I have 3 questions. Please let me know if you can see it on your screen, and it's just a way to check if you understand what we've done so far. And so let me know if you can answer the questions. And if you can't see it, let me know. Okay, thank you. It seems a few people are answering the poll questions. I'll give some more time for other people to answer, and then I'm going to read the questions. So for the first question is, RCV is used in primary and special elections for which of these offices? Check all that apply. The options are mayor, governor, city council, president, public advocate, and district attorney. And then the second question is true or false. You must use all the available ranking option in an RCV election. So you just answer that true or false. And then for the third one is true or false. You can rank a write-in candidate on your RCV ballot. And so you answer that true or false. And so thank you for those who have participated. I'm just going to give it another minute to see if we get more people to participate. Okay, thank you. I'll give it a few more minutes and I'll go over it again. So the questions again are RCVs used in primary and special elections for which of these offices? Check all that apply. The options are mayor, governor, city council, president, public advocate, and district attorney. Next question is true or false. You must use all the available ranking options in an RCV election. And then the third question is true or false. You can rank a candidate, you can rank a write-in candidate on your RCV ballot. And so you answer that true or false. Okay. You want to give it a few minutes. Okay, thank you all for who answered it. And now let's go over this end poll. I'm going to share the results so you see it on your end. So let's go through the first question. So RCVs used in primary and special elections for which of these offices? So yes, I saw people answered mayor is correct, right? Next one is what? City council. And then the next one is public advocate. Those are the city office. It's not used for governor, not used for president, and also not used for district attorney. And only you see your answers, so no worries about that. And in true or false, you must use all the available ranking options in RCV. The correct answer is false. You can rank up to 5 candidates, but you do not need to rank a total of 5. So you can rank up to 5, but you don't have to. It's not required. And then the last question is true or false. You can rank a write-in candidate on your RCV ballot. And the answer is true. To vote for a candidate whose name is not on the ballot, you just write your name in the write-in option, and then you fill the oval in there to rank them. So again, thank you for taking part in this poll. Great answers, and we're going to move on to the next thing. So I'm going to stop sharing it. It should not pop up on your screen. Okay. So now let's move to the frequently asked questions that we've got over the time. And so first one is, can I still vote for one candidate? Yes. As we just talked about, if you prefer to vote for one candidate as your first choice, that's it. You could just do that. Ranking other candidates does not harm your first choice. And then another way to say that is, do you have to rank a total of 5 candidates? No, you can rank up to 5, but you do not need to rank a total of 5. So just ranking multiple candidates just ensures that your vote goes to your second, third, fourth, or fifth choices, just in case your top choice is eliminated. And that just gives you more say in who wins. But you don't have to if you don't want to. So does ranking 5 candidate means I have 5 votes? No, your vote only counts for your highest active candidate on your ballot. Your vote will count for your second choice if your first choice is eliminated, and it will count for your third choice if your first and second choices are eliminated, and so on, right? And so, but you do not get 5 votes. And how do I vote for write-in candidates with RCV? You just put their name in the write-in line and fill an oval to rank them. And where can you find official election results? So the Board of Elections will share unofficial results after the polls close on election day, which is June 27th this year, for the primary. And after they receive all absentee ballots, they will finish counting and release certified final results. So you can find the election results at the Board of Elections website, which will be dropped in the chat. And next is will the voting machine tell me if I made a mistake on my ballot? So if you vote in person, the voting machine will let you know if you get multiple candidates the same ranking, and that's one of the errors that we went through in the beginning. If you make a mistake, you can ask a poll worker for a new ballot. However, just note that the voting machine will not let you know if you skip rankings or rank the same candidate multiple times, meaning that only your top choice vote will go. So that's the duplicate voting error. So yeah, if you feel like you've made any error, just ask for a new ballot, and we'll drop the FAQs in the chat now, so you get more frequently asked questions as we go on. And so next, what we're doing here is the main takeaways, which are the summaries that, again, you can rank up to 5 candidates, but you do not need to rank a total of 5. Rank only 1 candidate in each numbered column. Do not rank the same candidate more than once. Your ballot may have contests on both sides, so remember to flip your ballot. RCV will appear on one side and single choice contests will appear on the other one. So single choice kind of like, for example, like a district attorney. And then remember, you can always ask a poll worker for another ballot. So if you feel like you've made a mistake, do not worry, just get a new ballot and start all over. So next, we're going to have an RCV practice. Seems a practice was dropped in the chat. We'll put it again in the chat. And so you could do that now or do it later. This is available on our website. It's also available in all 30 languages. And we'll give it to you. And just for time, we'll move on, but feel free to use this to practice and be able to have a go at it. So these are the election deadlines. So Monday, June 12th is the deadline to request your absentee ballot online or by mail. And it's also the deadline to update your address. So if you move, make sure the Board of Elections gets your new address by this date. Again, it's Monday, June 12th. Saturday, June 17th is the voter registration deadline. So make sure you're registered by then, or anyone you know who wants to vote in the primary, they are registered by then. Saturday is also when early voting begins, and that starts from Saturday and ends Sunday, June 25th. Please note there's no voting on Monday, June 26th. There's no early voting. And then the next day, Tuesday, June 27th, is the election day for the primary elections. And it's also the deadline to submit your absentee ballot in person or by mail. Polls are open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And also make sure that for your absentee ballot, you either drop it at a poll site between those hours, or if you mail it, it's postmarked by that date. And check nycvotes.org for the latest information on the June election. And so next we've got into resources, and we have a few to highlight here. First is our website, nycvotes.org. There is so much there. We're going to highlight some of the things that you can find on the website. So for the accessibility voting tools, ballots can be requested from the Board of Elections through their website, nycabsentee.com, or also call in this number, 1-866-VOTE-NYC, and again, 1-866-VOTE-NYC. They also have ballot marking devices, also known as BMDs. These machines are available at polling sites that can assist you in filling out your ballot. Audio braille keypads, high contrast screens, rocket paddles, and different pub devices are available for everyone. anyone can use any of these machines. You do not need to give a reason why. If the BMD machine is broken or unavailable, a poll worker can also help you to fill out your ballot. You can bring someone to help you vote so long as they're not affiliated with your employer or your labor union. And also important to note that for ranked choice voting, each choice on the BMD will be displayed on a separate ballot. So it would just take you a while to go through each of the candidates. One will be on a separate screen. So yeah, just please note that. And for language access, by federal law, New York ballots and other voting materials are translated into Bengali, Chinese, Korean as set in poll sites. And that was based on the local census data. In addition, there are interpreters available at some poll sites to provide assistance in languages such as Arabic, Creole, Russian, and Yiddish. And you can learn more about what translators, interpreters are available at the polling sites at the Civic Engagement Commission's website. It hasn't been updated for June yet. That should probably happen soon. We'll drop that link in the chat, but that's also a resource you can have. If you need language assistance at a poll site, you can also bring, you have a right to bring your own interpreter with you to go vote with you. And you can also request the BMDs that we talked about with audios to help you vote in the following language: Chinese, Bengali, Spanish, and Korean. And we've dropped the civic engagement website in the chat. And for voting resources at nycvotes.org, again, it's available in the 13 city languages. So you go to the website on the top right corner, you could drop it down and it translates everything into all the languages. Also coming soon will be the print voter guide and the online voter guide that should be coming in June. And so this is just how to navigate our website, and you could get all of the materials available now and also in June for the online voter guides, and the printed voter guides will be mailed to you before the elections. But if it's not there or it's late in the mail, you can get the online voter guide. And also exciting this year will be video voter guides where the candidates will be able to share video, sharing, introducing themselves. And so that should be very exciting. And so stay tuned to our website in June to find all of this. And then additional voting resources, the online voter guide, as I've talked about, register to vote with Turbo Vote. You can find your poll site locator. It's usually or sometimes different from your early voting site versus your voting site on election day. So make sure you check to make sure you know the polling site, and you can check your registration status at voterlookup.elections.ny.gov, the election calendar too, and then voting accessibility that I talked about. And again, we'll send you these decks so you can have access to look at it later. And for social media, follow us as NYC Votes on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook. And you can also request a presentation similar to this that's tailored to your community here. And then you can take a pledge to receive deadline reminders and real-time election updates, and text Vote Smart to 917-976-6377. Again, 917-976-6377. And then you can register to join NYC Votes, volunteer for events, including our Get Out to Vote programming that we'll do in June right before the elections. And then you can contact us again. I know we keep saying it, but yes, nycvotes.org to make sure you're registered, find your poll site, read the voter guide, and so much more. Again, my name is Ama Acquah. I'm the training coordinator of the partnership and outreach units. And if you need to reach out to me or Gori, our emails is partnerships@nyccfb.info. Again, partnerships at nyccfb.info. And I would challenge you, talk to 3 voters in your life about the upcoming election. And last but not the least, thank you very much for coming here. We're going to pause for questions, if there's any. And I am also going to stop the recording. Thank you for joining us today. And please, we want to stop recording and then unmute anyone. So if you want to come off mute or put the questions in the chat, we'll do our best to answer them. And again, thank you for coming.
Thanks, Ama.